We have a lady that came down from Kansas City with her horse to pick up a new Patriot saddle, officer's model today. This is a real nice little Egyptian Arab. We're going to go ahead and put the saddle on him, ride him, and we're going to put the flex connection on this horse and show you how to use it, how to hook it up, and essentially go ahead, ride this horse with it, see if we don't see a little difference in the horse. We're on a little guy now. Come to find out, this Egyptian Arabian foxtrots, just like Raffles did in the movie that they made of him when he was imported. All you have to do is tell him what you want, and he's doing fine at it. A little windy here today. Nice little horse. What we'll do now is go ahead and put a flex connection on this horse. And we don't have a big problem here with this horse. He is well trained. He's ridden typically with a martingale. She feels more secure that way. But just toes out and this horse backs. He's very light. He's very well trained. Toe to the left and he turns to the left. It takes no hands, a little half halt, he stops wherever you are. He backs like a dream, even up a hill, onto pavement. Nice horse. But playing with the flex connection can only improve a nice horse. We'll see how it goes in just a moment. Now I have the little horse in the barn. We've hooked the flex connection up. Let me show you what it consists of. First thing I do is to break the reins, take them apart, take the Conway buckle out of them, and have them both open. Then I thread those reins through these little rollers right here. So they're very free running on the rollers. The little Y training martingale unit snaps in, and almost every time you're going to snap into the middle D-ring, so that's all we put on flex connections now is the center D-ring. We want it as low as we can get it. This horse was well behaved, a well-trained horse. We just want him to do one thing, and that is to put his head down and neck down, lift his back, carry the weight of the rider by using his hindquarters. He's not underneath himself in the rear. And to do this, we're going to ask him down and back. Now, if I ask him down and back just like this, he's going to fight me because it's something solid and it's pulling on him. He may back, but with your hands, it's very hard to go ahead and get the horse to be where you want him to be. With the little flex connection, it stretches. It comes up and out. This breast collar is a regular size. It should have been a small, but it's working fine for this demonstration. What I want to do, if it's a horse that's not been ridden with a tie down, then I have to start with a training martingale to let him know what we want and to start him with the flex connection. This is a little complicated to ride on the trail with. It's great for training. To replace this little Y with simply a little tie-down strap from here to the halter bridle, we'll then do everything we need to do for competition, for roping, for dressage or going down the trail. Then your reins are direct to the snaffle. You'd be surprised how many horses you can ride with no bit at all. Just hooking your reins into a side D-ring on a halter, and it works fine. Now to start with, I've got to get through to him that I want him down but not back. And you watch, because with these reins, I got him to give some. Now I'm going to hold it. Now I don't want to break him and break him at the pole, pull him any further back than this. But he's testing this right now. And that I'm doing before I get on. Because some horses will go ahead and back right from here. He took it up a little more. I took up some more reins, see? Now we have him hooked, and he's seeing what's going on. It's a very controlling situation. Namely, there's one thing about a flex connection. If you get the horse's nose only 2 or 3 inches lower than what he wants to carry it at a walk, then that horse has to pay attention to you at all times. It's no different than John Lyons. That's his basic premise of almost all of his training. He has to have that horse's attention at all times. Most horse trainers want this. Now, I've got his attention. He's trying to figure out what's going on. First thing I'm going to do after I get in is absolutely nothing, but I'm not going to let the horse back. I don't want to pull him up that tight, and he just had to walk off, didn't he? Okay. Now, I'm just going to sit on the horse. I'm going to give him a little rein because I don't want to break him at the pole too much. Now, when we start moving, and we'll go to another little arena to ride this in, he will go ahead and rearrange his body to carry himself, and the first thing he'll do is bring his head up. Head and neck, up and back. But he really can't here because he can do it. He can stretch a foot or better against the little unit. It is not heavy bungee, it's light elastic. But it works even for a roping horse. They won't fight it if they can't lay up against it. If it's not solid for them to lay up against, then there's nothing for them to, quote, fight. They realize very quickly that they are working against themselves. And as you can see, our head and neck is down in a pretty relaxed position now. So when I get on a horse first time with this unit, I want to sit here, at least as long as I sit here and talk to you. Let him get used to the fact that I'm hooked up, I'm fighting myself. I've got to pay attention to every little thing this guy wants. And if I just pick up the rein a little bit, just fingertip pressure, turn my toes out, this horse should back. And he did. So he's listening. We're going to go ahead and ride him with it. It's going to take a while for him to get over. I'm way up too close. Would you? He's trying to get a hold of it, I think, with his mouth and get it off. We'll just walk him right around here. The thing I try to impress upon people is that it doesn't take any force. It's not forcing the horse to do anything. It's simply asking the horse what you want. Now that was a half halt and he stopped. And that's good. And we'll let him up. I don't want to break him at the pole. But he's trying to check out what's on him. This makes a horse, for somebody who is overhorsed, this makes the horse pay attention to them, eliminate their feelings of insecurity, eliminates them feeling overhorsed. Your reins become a very light thing that you use. One basic thing here. You cannot pull a horse's head out and around with one rein. And if you want to turn the horse at speed, at a dead gallop, you can do it. But if you pull, you give. Then you can turn your horse. And he can do nothing but turn because he knows that there's nothing he can fight. You are only asking him what every horseman wants in almost every breed, and that is down and back, not up and back against a solid pair of hands with a mechanical device called a bit. This works almost as well without a bit as it does with a bit. And all I'm doing is turning my toe out that time. I didn't use the rein much, if you noticed. So he's listening. Only thing you have to be careful about, don't tell him two things at once. Doesn't work very well if you do. Toe out, really, half halt, all these things. He's just bothered, and he'll get over being bothered in a little while. And we'll let him have his head and just rest, but he's not got it up where it was a while ago. Nowhere near it. He knows that it's simply a fruitless thing to try to fight that little stretchy unit that's hooked to his girth, a la his chest, a la the breast collar. It's all a unit. The guy's fooling with this thing. He'd love to get it off and so on and so forth. But if I don't give him rein and if I don't give him any cues or natural aids, then I'm not asking anything of him, and typically he's going to stand here. It's amazing how he will stand here. Now, he wants off of this. This is terribly frustrating for him to begin with. But because it gives you so much basic control. And it's not giving control through force. It's working on their mind. This is something absolutely new. He's never had anything working on his mind. Excuse me for not looking at the camera. I'm talking to the lady that owns the horse. Okay. Now, if he's listening to me and I turn a left toe out, we should go left. And I didn't move my hands. Straighten my toe and we should walk. So I like to start the horse at a walk with the flex connection. Toes turned out, tighten the inner thigh muscle, and the horse feels that even through this new saddle. This close contact endurance pad helps. Too close, and we'll walk him a little more. Just getting a little basic communication with the fact that we're going to perform with our head down where I want it, not up where he wants it. Half halt, squeeze with those thighs. Didn't do anything with the reins, just squeezed with the thighs. He stopped. At a walk, he can only stop. At a trot, he can slow down, or he can slow down to a walk if you continue with it. I think my hat's going to blow off in here. But let's see if we can put this horse into a little bit of a trot. And we want to keep it slow. We don't want to let him run away. He wants to try to working trot very fast. We want him to do it the hard way, very slow. I'm not going to try to do the foxtrot right now. I'm going to square trot the horse. Let him get up under himself if he can. For the camera here, I think I might as well throw this hat off and go outside and go down the road. But now I'm half halting just a little bit there, see? Letting him know I don't want him to go that fast. He's coming to you, Kim. Okay, I'm going to take him out here and go down the road, see what we can do. We'll work the horse out here a little bit now. Get a little trotting, slow trotting if we can. I want to take it slow. I want to keep it slow. It's a lot of work for the horse. He cannot rebalance me, and I don't want to pull him all the way up to the chest, but I got to slow him down some right now. And a half halt is only half getting it. It's going to take him a while before he can stretch up under himself in the rear. Oh, easy. Oh, easy. He's a nice boy. He's just fighting this unit, and he's not wanting to get up under himself in the rear. He's tight in the back. Huh? Well, he's going to have to get his back muscles stretched, his hindquarter muscles stretched.
You might consider riding him with Me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll have to do it with his head and neck down there because he can't move forward without, he'll try to go at speed, and if you slow him down, then he has to stretch the muscles and the outline. So basically that's what we're trying to do. Now he's starting to stretch out a little. He's doing a little better now. And this is basically all we need. He's got a lot of muscles to develop to get that rear end up under himself. Slow him down some more here if we can. Oh, easy. Here we're starting to get there. This is what we want, and we just got to get him to where he'll do it without so much break at the pole. Going to take a little muscles in the rear. Marco Benar, who is, man, just won the Pan Am Games in dressage, likes this so well, this flex connection. He's now showing his clientele how to use it.
And it's just to work with him, but not to ride him.
This is to exercise the horse, to strengthen the horse,
Okay.
to train him to work off the hindquarters, to make him lift his back so that...
Indoor arena, outdoor arena, but not on the trails, right?
Really, this is complicated for the trail. This unit is.
Okay.
Now, but for the trail, hooking that little tie-down strap up is a great and an easy thing to do. Yeah, why don't you come on over here and hook it up. Now he knows what we're doing. Whoa, whoa. Stop walking around, fella.
Hey, baby angel. Okay.
Just go ahead and snap it up, and then you'll have to adjust it.
You want me to take this off?
Tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a hand here.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Furman, you can keep the tape going. It won't take very long, and we'll just slip this unit off,
You get our butts out.
put the other one on.
I'll watch you do it. Filming.
Okay, go ahead. I won't have to get off the horse.
I think he wants your back this way. They're filming.
Let's take that little unit off, complete. Don't have to undo any snap, anything there. Yeah, just hooking up. What we want to do is hook that up very short now. Shorten it way up, Maggie. Because we want his head right down there where it is now.
Now do I ride that on the trail right?
Yes, this you use on the trail. This is for trail riding, for endurance. The ropers use it for roping. You're direct to the bit. You're using your hands and your bit is normal. It's just that he is now controlled in that headset and collection and having to get his rear under him, lift his back up when he does. That's what happens. And put it way up through there, Mag. It's got to be real short, so you're going to go a long way. And then pull it back out if it doesn't work. That won't be short enough.
You want that in the bottom.
In the bottom one. So you can't pull his head down without the flex connection hardly, but. Okay, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You'd be surprised when you use this little tie down unit, that's not too low. We're probably going to need to adjust it down again. Usually I'll get off a horse at least twice readjusting the tie down, because what you think is short, once you first hook it up, he'll rearrange his body, try to get his head up, and you'll have to shorten it again. Usually the second or the third time will take care of it. Now, I don't know for sure where he's set, but he's set plenty short. Let's see how we work. Reins become a very light thing. As one Grand Prix level dressage rider told me when I was instructing her how to use this, she said, "But this is like riding without any reins." I said, "That's right." That was with the little training martingale. Here with the reins, we can still use the reins, but the horse listens, and he listens very well. He has to listen. He hasn't got a choice. A toe out, and he's going to turn. A half halt, he's going to stop. He's just a toe out, and again, we should turn. He hasn't got any choice. This takes the overhorsed rider and makes a sweetheart out of their horse. That rider can then have a good time. He wants to get up. Thank you. He's a different kind of horse to ride now. Right? Oh, he's a nice horse. But what this does is this just softens everything. You come get on, Kim. You've never ridden this saddle. You never ride him with a snaffle without a running martingale.
I'm not sure I want to.
He can't do anything but work for you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Probably take off with me.
Nope, he will
to
not
ride
take
with
off
my
with you.
husband.
He won't take off with you. Now let's see where he's at on the flex connection. Hold up just a second. Like I said, you got to shorten it more than once.
You don't let go of me. I'm going to button my coat. Okay.
Okay,
Hold this for a second.
go ahead. You really don't have to.
Well, I
He's
just-
kind of ground tied, you know?
Sure? He's not gonna, well, you know what I'm saying. He's going to take off on me and he'll die.
I know that you're a little afraid of this guy, but
Well,
this
I'm
is
not afraid of him with
no.
the other stuff.
I know with your other stuff on, but you're here. You're not fighting it. You're not fighting anything. This is all new territory for this horse, and this is a windy day. And this lady doesn't ride this horse normally with a snaffle, and if she does, she has a martingale unit on there, running martingale. The saddle is awesome. Well, thank you. See, he's just at the point of starting to stretch the unit. He's not even stretching the unit. He's staying away from it.
This feels more secure than my martingale.
Oh yeah.
I feel my hands are free and
Uh-huh. You don't have to fight the horse.
Different this feels. You want to ride him? You're not going to believe how this feels. I don't feel so insecure. I thought it was just me.
That horse can do nothing but listen to the rider. As long as his nose is a couple of inches below where he wants to carry it, he acquiesces to the rider. He looks pretty, Cam. He says, I just love to get out of this thing.
I know, but boy, is that a difference. The saddle feels awesome.
Good.
After we get him all sized up right.
Yeah, we'll get smaller breast collar on.
But the flex connection I need to understand a little more, but I guess I will.
Well, right now, all you have to do is snap it up. He doesn't foxtrot as easy with this on. He's square trotting. He's having to get under himself in the rear now.
No, and I don't want to canter him in the wet. I don't canter him in the wet grass. No, I think it's awesome. It feels great.
You find he'll canter fairly slow because he'll just very responsive to the rein.
Now, is that too tight, or you want to
No,
loosen it?
no, he's just, until they've been ridden with it quite a few times, will be bothered by the amount of control. Them having to keep their head where they don't have their free will. All they have to do is get that head up where they want it, and then you're always trying to control the horse.
Okay.
Here, what can he do? You're just sitting here, we're talking. Does this horse sit here while you talk to people all the time? That's good.
My other one doesn't. Bart's the one that needs it. My other horse, the other Arab, the Spanish Arab,
Yeah.
the other horse, he's always witching around. He doesn't stand still.
When they're hooked up here, they just can't be their own horse so much.
Okay. Yeah, he always stands perfectly still, doesn't he? But Bart doesn't. My other one does not.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. After everything's... He's going to get used to all this.
Oh yeah, he's getting used to it right now.
He's more comfortable in this saddle because the other one was hurting him.
Let me show you something.
Now, what about my bit? That's what I wanted to try, too.
You just stay where you are.
Actually, I don't even need my bit, do I?
No.
You've got enough control this way, Maybe I don't want to use my bit anymore, Lenny, or what?
No, I'm just showing you. Now go ahead. We're just down to the middle. If we had side D-rings on this, it would be better. But I want you to go ahead and try him hooked up just down to the middle
Oh, I'd rather
of the halter. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He won't ride without a bit.
Well, see what he'll do.
So he doesn't
Just
know.
let him know that you want him to turn. You're going to have to two-hand rein him.
I don't know that does he neck rein?
No.
He doesn't neck rein. Okay.
If you had
Just-
D-rings on your right side.
Yeah. If you pull with one rein, give with the other. That's the only thing you got to do there.
Put the other one on his neck.
That's fine, so long as there's not too much tension on it.
I don't know why I'd want to ride him without a bit, but I like it better with a bit.
Go ahead, go ahead and trot him down there with that.
Well, if you don't-
Let me do something here. I'll go ahead and hook it up so you have side pull,
Yeah, I
one
don't-
way
I
or
don't want
another.
it to-
Let me have.
Right here.
Come here. Come here. I think we can get it to where you got a little bit of side pull right there. We're going through nylon webbing. You've got a side pull. Okay. Now, Kim's typically doesn't like to ride this horse with a snaffle. She's got a curb bit in there and all kinds of hardware. Right now, we've got a horse that's in control. He's doing well.
Yeah, it's hard to stop this way.
Half halt.
Not bad at all.
Squeeze with your thighs and half halt the horse. Go ahead and do that right now.
Go on.
Do it right now.
No, you get on and do
He
it.
just stopped.
He did.
That's right. He's listening.
He's following Lenny around is what he's doing. Look at him. He's following you.
Yeah.
He's going to Ellen for help. There he is. No, I love it. I don't know why I'd want to ride him without a bit.
Pick your reins up. Just pick them up. Put a little tension on them. Straighten him up. Straighten him up. Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
no,
just,
not back.
yeah, just straighten him up. Now turn, well, your toes were already out. Turn your toes out.
Okay.
So your toes were already out. He backed.
Okay.
Turn your toes straight now.
Oh.
Until you turn your feet straight and in line with the horse, you're constantly asking him what?
To back up.
On.
On.
Forward. When you pick up the reins and you turn your toes out, you have naturally asked him forward and back with the
Okay.
reins, so he will back.
Okay.
That's impulsion. You want it, but you give him no place to go. Where's he got to go? Back.
Where do I want my toes when I'm riding? Then forward,
In line with the horse.
in line with the horse.
Put weight on the outside of the foot in the stirrup. Let off here some. Yeah, sit down and let your leg loose. Relax.
Like that?
Lift it up out of the stirrup.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Put the pressure on the outside of the foot. It will straighten your foot. It will wrap your
Okay, I
legs
see.
around the horse. See?
Try that. I'm not used to that part.
Yeah, on the outside of the toes.
Okay. And keep the feet aligned.
And
with the
relax your
horse.
thighs.
Who told me to keep my feet out? Somebody told me. They told me wrong.
That's constantly squeezing your horse on.
Okay.
See? So,
So that's making him
yeah, the more you can quote, kind of scoot down in the seat and relax. Right. Now, you got it. As I tell a lot of women that come in, please go get a half pint of schnapps, drink it, and come back.
I'm shrinking in my saddle.
Okay, so if you get to where you can relax like this,
That's the way I want to keep them, right?
yeah,
But when I back
Relax.
up, I put my feet out, right? Okay.
or when you want to go forward, okay, see? Now, if you turn your toes out, he should move.
Okay.
Turn your right toe out, or left toe.
Sorry. Well, he doesn't have a bit in. That's fine.
That's all right. Just take up the reins, turn toe out. You got a very obedient horse here. He's just listening to you. So you got to be careful you don't tell him two things at once. Two toes out and you're turning him with the reins. What are you doing?
Confusing.
That's right.
So I only turned the toe out that I wanted to turn that way.
That's right.
You remember that time he was bucking, I go, he's wild, and Ellen goes, you're kicking him in the flanks.
No,
Or
you were leaning forward. And your
I was
feet
leaning
kicking
forward, my
and
feet
your
were back
legs
here.
were in
Yeah.
the flanks.
and he was going nuts, and she goes, it's you, it's not the horse.
Yeah, if you lean forward, it's a natural aid to move
Well,
forward.
I was doing what
So
he
it
was
creates
doing what I was telling him.
an instability of equilibrium.
So when I want to turn, I keep him like this, but when I want to turn left, he'll feel that.
That's right. He feels it up here because you tightened this thigh muscle.
Okay,
And he can feel that through the
we
orthoflex.
did try that in the ring, like Jerry Diaz, doing just with our legs, left and right.
Yeah.
Leaning, you know, and it worked.
Yeah, but you don't even have to lean here at that point. But leaning at speed is good.
Okay.
Lean a little bit at speed and turn a toe out, and he should, boom, head the way you want to go.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you bringing your horse down. Lynn Brown here to give you a little basic instruction on hooking up the flex connection. We've redesigned the flex connection a little bit since other parts of the video where you saw it as an elastic strap, simply tubed in neoprene, setting between the center of the breast collar and the girth. So I want to show you how to hook it up the way we have it now. And I'll ride this horse with it. This is a 3-year-old thoroughbred, and he just turned 3. He's 17 hands tall. He was only ridden to get ready for the track, and I bought him in January. It's been 6 months, and I rode him the day I got him. That was all. You can take this out now, fella. At any rate, he was a bit of a handful then. He was sore in the withers from the exercise saddle and a basic exercise riding that takes place. He's still sore in the withers. He's still a little shy of saddling, and so on. To show you how to use the flex connection and what it does, keep in mind one thing. It is simply nicely asking what you want from the horse, and then when he gives it, there is no pressure on the bit or the reins to speak of. At that time, he has to carry the weight of the rider with his head and neck down, using his hindquarters, using his back. So it's an exercise tool more than anything else. Yes, it does help train your horse. It helps the person with the that's simply overhorsed. But to go ahead and use it first with the reins, then with a little collection strap to the halter bridle or a noseband, is to go ahead and teach your horse to carry the weight of the rider the more difficult way for the horse. When I say the more difficult way for the horse is basically lazy. He's going to do everything the easiest way he can. When you put the weight of a rider in to rebalance his body and attain his natural balance with the weight of the rider, the easiest thing for him to do is come with head and neck up, to transfer that part of his weight, to work off of his forehand instead of the hindquarters. And when he does that, it overloads the forehand. It's also easier for him to use this levator humeri right here to jerk and extend the front leg. We're going to make it a little harder for him to use this by keeping him in collection. This goes ahead then and develops the horse from the hindquarters. It lets you ride the horse from the hindquarters. It keeps him sound for many years. And if his nose is 2 or 3 inches lower, then he wants to carry it at a walk. He rather has to pay attention to you at all times. That means he goes light on the bit and he's just waiting to see what you want next. Okay, to start with, when you get your flex connection, you're going to see a little training martingale with the little wooden rollers. You're also going to have an elastic strap like this, and it's a relatively soft elastic. It has a lot of stretch, and it has a roller on it. It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Huh, Danny Joe? Now what your horse is soon going to discover is that he has to work harder when you use it. And I think it's kind of cute in the fact that usually a horse will put up a little fuss when you saddle him. Not with the Orthoflex, but my horse, when I go to hook up the breast collar, sometimes will try to walk away from me or something because he knows he's got to work a little more that day. He's got to pay attention to the rider at all times. What I just did on the Orthoflex breast collar was unbuckle the strap that goes down to the girth and unsnapped it off the center of the girth. I toss that over there, and I'm going to buckle in. I've got a little bit of hardware here. This is a little collection strap that we'll use later. When you first work your horse, it's always by far best, unless he's used to a tie down, it's by far best to go ahead and use the little training martingale unit. So right now we hook the elastic into the center of the breast collar. We have the roller right here. We're going to put this snap right onto the D-ring on the breast collar. Before I do, I'm going to use my little training martingale, and the end of it, I just snap it in. All these snaps swivel, so nothing has to be done right side up or etc. Hooking this in right here. I want to see the location that I am getting now with the rollers. Right now it'll be pretty easy, but see the amount of stretch we have. Every time I stretch this, he feels it against his chest. He feels it against the girth. He knows he's working against himself if he fights it. That's the basic principle. Now I want to tighten it just a little more to where I end up not quite so high up on the stretch like this. I'm almost barely coming down, mostly straight back from where he's standing naturally. So, simply adjusting this up a couple of holes. I've got one left. Now we're a little lower. I like to tie my rings in a knot when I'm doing this so that I can undo them easily. With our soft sides rings, I just put the top grain leather instead of the soft cabretta against the roller. Run it through the roller on that part and run the other one through the roller on the other side the same way. Now, I've still got to hook them to the bit, but I've got my basics. Oh goodness. Like I say, this is a 3-year-old, exercise ridden, stalled, and more horse than what you typically want to get on and ride. Well, I think I may have to go ahead and simply snap it to the bit first, because I don't have enough rein with this 17-hand boy to go ahead and get where I want to be with the reins to tie him. Okay, Danny Joe. Now we'll see if we can tie a knot in these so we don't have to worry about it coming loose. And I'd say this little guy could stand a wee bit longer rein here, because he's a pretty good sized horse. I'm gonna have to go over and get on with a little bit of a mounting block, but we had to get Danny Joe off the gravel because he's barefooted. I took his shoes off yesterday. Haven't put any new ones on him yet. But I got on after I got him off the gravel. Whoa, whoa, little half halt, little release. He's listening. And this is an explosive little package because this horse was climbed on by a reasonably light exercise rider with a half tree. Toe out, turn Danny Joe, just touch that left rein, give with the right. Squeeze here, he should stop. If I pick up the rein some, collect him up just a little like this. Now I hold him here and let him check out the little unit. He knows he's got it on because I rode him with it the first time I was there. I wasn't about to get on him without it. The exercise rider horse trainer in Oklahoma decided he wanted one, so he's now training his race horses with it. So what we'll do, go ahead and ask him to go forward. Come on, Danny Joe, let's stop visiting. Come on. The little bit of a trick here is to give him enough room to get off the elastic and have the head where you want it. Come on. Always start them out at a walk. A nice walk is all we want to start with. Come on. He's a tender-footed young horse. He's checking out to see how much rock there is under here. So we're working it to walk, but we have a head where we want it. It's a relaxed, nice walk. Doesn't take a terrible amount of training for the horse to figure this out. He's had one on once before. That's all it took. As soon as his head is where you want it, he has to listen to you. So a squeeze right here should stop the horse with the thighs, which is simple half halt. The trick again is give him enough room that when he extends at the base of the neck and gets off the elastic, he can get off the elastic. Don't continually keep it on him and break him at the pole. Right now, he's checking things out still. Right now, he's just wanting to eat a little grass, and he will let a horse be a horse for just a second. Let him have a bite of grass. Something an old cowboy told me out west, let the horse be a horse. You don't have to make him be perfect all the time. He's just a horse. Come on, Danny Joe. If you lose a little of that grass, come on. Let's walk down here again, giving you just enough to keep you. Nope, we're not going that way. Now we'll try a slow trot. Come on, boy. Come on. We want to keep this trot slow. There's no pressure on the reins if you notice at all. Ooh. Right now he's just trying to get away from the little unit. Get away from the elastic because he knows he's fighting himself if he's on that. So I'm going to give him some more rein, try to get him to come up a little more normal. There he goes. Come on. Oh. Okay. A toe out should turn your horse. You don't have to wheel him around with reins, and this is basically an untrained horse. And that's why I wanted to save him to use him for a little demo here. Slow trot, big boy. Yeah, easy, easy. Now, I'm not doing that. He's just down with his head. You've got to give him plenty of rein to turn with on the outside. So we don't mind him being up and a little attentive like this. That's good. He was going way down to get away from the unit. Oh. Yeah. Oh, there's a dog, huh? Is that a dog? Is that Princess? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Now if I have a little tension on the reins and if he's listening to me and I turn my toes out, where is there for him to go? But back. Come on. Come on. Yo. Collect ups here. Back. Come on. Well, you're not going to back for me, are you? Okay, I'm going to have Furman go ahead and hook the little collection strap in place, and then we'll come back on video and you can watch me working direct with the bit and the reins as you would on any horse, which you can do on your own horse. And then hook it in the D-ring of the elastic. So the ring at the halter bridle, right there.
You get it here. And the D-ring.
At the elastic.
At the elastic. I want to get rid of the...
Yeah, but you can take the little running martingale off.
Snaps. Get the flexion strap. Give it a bit, buddy. He's fighting me now. There we go. I got him.
Okay.
Now let me get this martingale. How do you get it off there?
Well, I mean, I can take it off up here.
Here.
But you may have to hook him up lower, and this will be a good demonstration for people. Yeah.
Ring back. Oh, damn Joe. Oh, damn Joe.
Okay, go ahead and take the other one. Just now we just have a set of reins again. Now, if he can get his head up where he wants to carry it, he'll fight this elastic. So we're probably going to have to shorten this little unit, and a lot of times I have to get off a horse and shorten it up to 2 times after I first set it. Once you rather learn where to set it, you may not have to. Well, he came right back down off the elastic. Let's see if we're long enough for him. Looks like it. See, he's coming off the elastic. For training right now, this is very good. This is the first time he's ever had this little strap on, a little collection strap. It's always been through the reins. Now he's finding himself attached all the time, but it's 1,000% consistent. If he doesn't want to be on the elastic, all he has to do is keep his head right where we want it. You work your horse that way, he will learn to start carrying the weight from back here. And it's amazing how they stand relatively ground tied, even an untrained horse like this, because they have that unit on. A lot of times you can stand and visit with people a little more. You want some green grass, don't you, Danny? Well, I'm going to take him out here through this wheat field, canter him a little bit. When I picked him up, the day I got him in January, there was 8 inches of snow on him. All we did was a little walk trot. He's never seen a wheat field. He wants a bite of grass. We'll give him one. He's going to check out the wheat, see what's underneath there. Okay. Come on. Come on. Now I may trot him down through here and then canter him a little bit instead of an all-out gallop as he was used to. Come on. Come on. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Shorten these stirrups a little. This horse not as wide as my parlor horse inside. Okay, I think that was standing pretty well for a little guy like this who's never been trained. Got to be a little shorter. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's really spooked by this tall grass, but that doesn't hurt him. By the wheat, I should say. Come on. Okay, nice and collected. He went off the elastic, light rein, little easier trot. What I'm amazed at is I'm not having to fight this young racehorse who was just getting ready to go to the track. I'm not having to fight him at all. Fact of it is, he's not wanting to canter. But you're going to find some horses so tight in the back and so sore from saddling that they can't canter with this flex connection on. They have to be ridden at a trot for a while, stretch their hindquarters and their gluteal muscles, their top line. So don't overwork your horse with a flex connection. Once they stretch them, then they feel better and they will start to run, and they stretch out further and run faster when they do. So it absolutely works great for barrel racers, ropers, dressage, training jumping horses, even going over small jumps. Come on. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to ride off into a little bit of sunset here and see if I can get this boy to loosen up to canter a little bit. Come on, come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. See, he's stretching past the unit, but there's no pressure on the reins. Come on. All of that, folks, on a horse most people wouldn't want to ride. He's just been fed and stabled with a little buddy for 6 months and only trained as a racehorse, and that means he was gotten on to. He was taken out back and ran around the little track and back every day. That's all he was. Right now, very little rein to do what you want to do. Back, boy. Back, come on. Come on. Just a touch of the rein, and this horse is listening. And he's a poor, young, scared little boy. But we have a better start than we would typically any other way. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your Flex Connection. There's lots of different things about it. It's hard to mess a horse up with it. Right now, he's got almost no elastic. This needs to be shortened some for him now. Then he would simply carry himself a little lower, go just a little lighter. Come on, Danny. It's a much kinder way to ride the horse, and to me, just as important as all the things I have patented in saddling, pads, girths, and everything else. If everybody would use one of these, we'd have a heck of a lot less trouble in the horse world, both with saddling, people getting hurt, and the horses being hurt. Wished all young thoroughbreds handled that good. Oh, heck. He's a little tired, but it's nice that he didn't try to run away and go get silly. Just light rein the whole time. As I show people a lot of times, you can unhook the reins, snap them onto the side pull, and get rid of the bit. It's not the determining factor here. Thank you very much. Enjoy your flex connection, and I hope you have it on one of our Orthoflexes. This is Dee, and she came up from Oklahoma with her little black Arabian stallion. And he has a little spondylitis. He's been a show horse. He's operated with a head up, head and neck up, back down, locked down for quite a while. She has a bit of a time controlling him. Right now, she's got him lightly at a walk on the flex connection. This flex connection is making a lot of difference in this horse for her. And at the walk, I asked her to hold him on down so that she can get his back up a little more, so we can open it up, prevent the spondylitis from getting any worse, and hopefully make it better. Dee, do you want to go ahead and trot him now and just let him out a little bit like you were a while ago? What we're doing here with the flex connection is this horse is going to have to start getting up underneath himself in the rear. He's got a little training to do that way yet, but this is the first time he's been ridden head and neck down with some real collection. And he's doing well with it. There's no pressure on the reins. He understands there's nothing for me to fight. This is the way I have to carry myself. And I might shake my head in frustration, but that's life. He'll get used to that after a while. Bring him on over here, Dee. And just a comment about the flex connection, if you could.
It's great. It's easy. I have more control over what he's doing with his head down. He moves a lot more fluid.
He looks really good.
Back up. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
Well, this ought to get his back up while you're riding. It'd make a world of difference.
A
Dee
lot
is a
better.
physical therapist. She knows exactly what I'm talking about as we went around the horse, palpating the muscles and so on. And it's going to be real fun to keep track of this horse now as she uses him, and see if we can lose some of the sensitivity to palpating on the spinous processes over the next year.
He'll get plenty of workout, and he'll be mad at me quite a few times. But he's going to be wonderful after a while.
Is he usually a lot different than this when you're riding him? Head and neck up considerably.
He has his head up, he's looking around, and he's a lot rougher. As you know, when they have their head up, they are a lot rougher. That's where they're more collected.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like to be collected anymore since he was ridden in the show, and he's going, I want to see what's going on. But for his comfort, it's better for him to be more collected.
No doubt about it. Well,
He'll
thank
learn.
you.
Thank you very much.